Alrighty, friends of the Sarson Things YouTube channel. We're back.
Something feels odd here.
With more Tales
Be
of
on your
Arise.
guard.
Trying to make progress through this shit show of a game. Sorry, I'm chewing something. That's rude of me. It's gone now. I swallowed it. Okay. You know what would be awesome? If I could freaking heal, man. I got roughed up in that fight back there. What is this? Why did it look like that? What the fuck? Oh my gosh. I hate this.
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony.
Wasn't it in the middle of like a city or something?
This is where the Renis Alma was.
Am I remembering wrong?
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult.
Takes a look
Alvin,
around, doesn't
but
see
there will
the
be
Red Woman.
time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori,
Oh gosh.
what is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told.
Yeah.
The Sovereign. They linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power.
Okay.
I was meant to
Yeah, we
guide it
learned
forth
that
and give shape to the
from all the
strength inside
freaking
of
things
him.
we read at the end of episode 13. This is episode 14, by the way.
Lenegis
Forgot to
itself?
say.
But then, everything that's been happening.
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already
I like
been
how they're
brought
just
to his
conveniently
knees.
using visions as a way to explain all this
Thousands upon
bullshit.
thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done.
Freaking car alarms. The night before I left, there was
With the
like, car alarms
destructive
keeping me up
force
all
now
night.
slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how.
Didn't know how. Oh no.
Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant, assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma
Yeah,
instead.
the thorns.
That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost, and Alphen the Sovereign was in a starship bound for Dana.
What do you mean lost,
My
though?
only
What
choice
happened to it?
was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new Sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants as well.
Yep. So, bam.
Please, forgive me. I never meant to
So,
burden
ceremony
the world
gone
with this
wrong.
threat, too. I only
Naori
wish that there
all of
was
a sudden
something
had
more
this
I could've
chaotic
done.
energy that she turned
Wait, you can't just...
inward to sealed away, and that's the thorns. And Shiona's a descendant, so she's got the thorns.
Naori.
But Naori believed the
That
Renis
message
Alma.
just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Danan voice speaking through her?
Wolf Boy and Bunny Girl. Oh. Oh, they're just wearing different clothes now.
What?
Oh, I like that dress for
These
Shion.
are the clothes
If
that
I actually
Naori
get
and I
that,
wore
she's wearing
during
it.
the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
Often not so much.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
I would actually put that
That's
on
right.
this one.
These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
Who designed them?
And they appeared now because...
What a ridiculous thing to say.
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time.
These outfits? It was all about the outfits.
It must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
So Naori wants to help us. She's leaving a trail of breadcrumbs.
Locating
to
the Renis
just
Alma would allow us to neutralize the
fix the
dark
whole
astral
thing.
energy inside Shion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
I believe so.
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Shion.
Easier said than done, my friend.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
Alright, we got a
I
plan.
know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance.
As long as I get these outfits,
even though I know
I'm
the
good with
world's
it.
still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still. No, it isn't. You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted
Yeah, they're like
us
the
with
same,
the fate of
the
all
same class at
humanity.
this point.
Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Here, here.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Renus Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way.
Good
now
one.
we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Shion at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know?
Bring
it's
back
me?
half mask
We're all in
Alphen.
this together, Shion. You included.
Remember that part in the middle of the game where we didn't have
Now let's
Shion
get
for
moving,
like
shall we?
8 to 10 hours and
Last
we
I
had to
heard, we had
use
an
only
apocalypse to
Dohri?
stop.
God, that was terrible. Alphen didn't have the flaming sword either.
Thank you, Naori.
That was brutal.
So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you.
Alphen is
I'm
summarizing.
so sorry, Shion. It's my fault that you're cursed.
That was good. Nice little
You're
summary.
wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories,
Is the reason for your curse.
the thorns.
It all leads
The
back to
thorns.
them. But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing could be possible.
So this
No.
little thorn quest is
truth
just
is,
intertwined
I
with the
think maybe I've
political,
always
the,
been dreaming
the bigger
about a
political
life
scheme
without
on
my thorns.
Rena, Dana,
The
and
touch of my
Lenegis.
family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack.
Yes.
Embracing everyone.
Well, smack him with
All
the thorns.
normal
Why not?
things that people do together. I always wished I could experience them for myself and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and
That's not going to happen. I'm here to make sure it won't.
Yeah, we got
Forget
this.
fate or destiny or anything else. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
yeah, you're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got plenty of fighting up ahead, and it's for my sake, so I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes.
I don't know about you, but
Until our future.
this feels like
is
an
finally
end
in our hands.
to the Lenegis saga, which has been freaking terrible. Oh, hell yeah. Shion more AG. Restore CP at the end of battle while the effects from cooking are active. That's something. That's really awesome, actually. All of this shit is good. Makes it harder to disrupt. Reduces the amount of time it takes. Let's just wait. I think I got it. I'm just not gonna do that right now. Okay, so let's listen to this skip.
Sounds like this Naori chick had quite the big heart.
Her position demanded nothing less. From the sound of things, she didn't focus on differences, least of all those between Renans and Danans.
Yeah. It was Naori who first showed me that such a thing was even possible. And then she saved my life by sending me back home to Dana.
Not only that, but she willingly stayed behind on Lenegis for the sake of her people. It sounds like she was quite the hero, all right. A truly caring person.
Yeah, Naori's a
It's
legend.
as if
We know.
walls meant nothing to her. The one separating the Renans from the Danans,
We get it.
or herself from others. She had no need for them.
Which basically meant that she never had anything to break down in the first place, huh? Yeah. I think you may be right about that.
You inherited that legacy. Her wish for the world.
Don't I know it?
She's kind of like a lodestar guiding our way, showing us what we can aspire to.
Hell yeah. Cool. Apparently I got new shit too. Is this true? Already equipped. The armor too. And for Shion. And is that an outfit? It is. Okay, I'm actually a huge fan of it. But, do we keep Wolf Boy? I actually like Wolf Boy. I like this outfit. The gun is absurd. Okay. I don't really like... Whoa. Oh, okay. Just different colored tiaras. A hat. Ponytail braid. Okay. I'm like, oh, we have so many things. Okay, so blue tiara to match, of course. That one's obvious. Eye patch? Yeah, give her an eye patch. Put a big owl on her head. How about a little owl? Devil tail? Nah. She could still be rabbit. I like the rabbit wolf saga. I don't know. She looks good with the butterfly wings too. But I think the butterfly wings are literally designed for this dress. Look at how well it goes. I don't want to have two people with butterfly wings though, and Rinwell rocks them so good. Is there any other option? The angel wings are cool. Halo, rabbit, girl. The butterfly wings just look good on everybody, I think, is the problem. Why not just have two butterflies roaming around? Look how good it looks. We're gonna keep rabbit. Nobody saw it coming. What is my quest? Go further into the... Jesus. We must go further beyond. Nobody knows what's there. What is this? Like, why is this made up of, like, organic material? So confused. Transfer me. The blazing sword. Forbidden zone. Okay. We go this way. What else are we gonna do here in Lenegis? Well, I guess I don't really know what. I guess we're still looking for answers. I guess
That's quite some
would
door,
be what
all
they would
right.
say.
This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
We have no. We don't know that at all.
After everything we've been through to get here,
We know nothing
they
about
damn well
this.
better be.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
Can I heal? Or do I have to run back through this whole thing? Get him, Wolf Boy. That sword is pretty cool.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store.
Aye, aye. Didn't we just learn a lot? Like, we're still going for more? We're being greedy now. Okay, arena. Sorry, I'm like burping and shit. This is interesting. It's like we're literally inside of... Like, that's what it wants you to think. Oh, we got skip.
We're a long way from the residential quarters now. It looks
I
completely
was
different.
just
Yeah,
this
you're
is
right.
very on topic to what I was talking
Actually,
about.
this place, it reminds me more of being back inside the wedge.
Except the Danon astral
you're right.
energy feels even stronger here.
In a portion of the city reserved purely for the Renin Sovereign.
Maybe he just has strange tastes?
This place looks like it has been here for quite some time now. If its design were a matter of personal preference, we would be talking from centuries ago. Or perhaps even further back. Still, this isn't the sort of decadence of taste spoken of in artistic circles. So what is it then?
Hold up, decadence? Artistic circles?
When a preference is indulged to its extreme, it descends into kitsch, eccentricity for the sake of it. I'd be happy to illuminate you further.
That depends. Does it involve you buying me lunch?
Probably no.
The void that art fills isn't the stomach, it's the soul.
In that case, I'll let you know the next time my soul starts to rumble.
Now all we need is something to fill up the void inside your head.
Shut up!
Shut up. Okay. Finally, we shall save here. And go here. Do this. Yes.
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is
Oh
this
my
another
gosh, this
spirit
is
channeling
fucking weird
ceremony?
as hell.
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Yeah, where's his maiden?
The powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign. The
What
True
has happened to
sovereign.
him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the
It's a
maiden?
bit of a stretch, but I'll roll with it for
It
now.
looks like it's still running, but are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
I sure hope not.
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose?
To transfer it to Rena.
What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renis Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
Good plan,
Not gonna lunge
Alvin.
at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alvin, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
Yeah, why do we think this is just some normal girl that's gonna
We all
talk
have
to
the
us?
same face? How is that even possible?
I don't really have a lot of life bottles. Which are super helpful.
What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
What? Oh, they're not human?
If it's in the
Oh, wait. That would be crazy. Okay, I need to pause. The Renans aren't even humans. They're these alien creatures. Oh my gosh. Just farming the humans. Holy cow, that would be crazy, and I think that's what's happening.
It's no use, Alvin. If we don't fight, we may as well
Get out of the
be
way.
stuck
Yep.
here.
Get out. Keep getting out of the way. Keep getting out of the way. Yep. Okay. These blades are a doozy. Real doozy. Who are you attacking, Law? I want to be on your team, brother. This one. I am getting destroyed by these blades.
Scarlet Inferno! Blow away!
I'll bring you back from death to bit.
Blow away! Here I come!
Let me help.
Wham! Not done yet! Hit some! First strike! Here I come!
That freaking does it!
You picked the wrong fight!
You pay for that!
Well, I don't think it matters. I think they all have like they all have the boss's health. You know what I mean? I want her to bring back Law, but then I'm gonna actually change him out for Dohalim. Right, we just have to deal that amount of damage to like all of them collectively. Which there are probably ways to like be like, I'm gonna hit them all at once. Yeah. How many life bottles? I have 6 life bottles. Oh boy. Like that. I mean, that was crazy damage, right? That was good.
No, never. Stay strong. This one's mine. A whirling puddle.
Try harder!
Winds of heaven. Here's a healing arc. First aid.
Raining slash!
We got this. We're doing okay.
In here.
We're definitely stable.
Lightning orb. More where that came from. Raging
Let's see what happens at halfway. It might be something new.
Incineration wave!
Another incantation brewing.
between heaven and earth. Lightning. Annihilation.
Blow away! Ignite!
Can somebody heal me, bro? Please?
Some punishment?
Dohalim's dead. Okay, let's get him up. So everything doesn't come down to Shion, who's also dying. I died. Nope, I need to life bottle myself.
This should do it!
Get out of the way. Dohalim's dead. Look at the damage. Items. Let's go orange gel so you don't have to really worry about it.
Demon Fang! Demon Fang!
Back into the fray.
Megasonic Thrust! Here!
Oh, no, no. Dohalim's dead. Okay, we're doing this though. We got this.
Sorry to trouble you.
100k. A little more than 100k. Should not have gotten involved there. Who'd she just first aid me? No, okay. Then let me lemon gel myself.
Can't get out of this!
Last section, 90k health.
Try harder!
What am I doing going down? What's going on?
In here. Here's a healer.
Not today!
First aid. Can't be happening.
We got this. We're good. I guess Shion with life bottle. I'm assuming we're not going to need him after this. Might be a bold call, but might be something I wish I saved too. Crap. It just does so much damage. Okay. Blasting through all of them in a line like that just was doing so much damage. How much? Oh, we did it. Let's go.
Our arsenal
being
Fuck
This
yeah.
ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Alright, well, I don't know what we did, but let's see what happens.
Winds of
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
I know.
astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
Just a little roughed
You
up.
had me worried there.
Now we have this situation to deal with.
Who said you could?
So what did we just fight? An army of Renans? A Renan soldier? Renans are aliens, right? That's what we...
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much.
Bull
So
Run.
you know this place?
Naturally, it was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to
I
tear
rolled
you
my eyes at
apart.
that.
Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me?
You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
Shion's gun at this
You're
point
obviously
is
bluffing.
ridiculous.
You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think?
Another fight? Am I like all damaged and shit?
Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle
Law,
prattle.
you are an
I
idiot.
proved my
Stay out
worth
of
and the
this.
sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan.
Yeah.
Then there were the records we found in the library.
I think
Were
the
you
sovereign
all
has to be a Danan.
They were
then.
logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Volran is related to...
Then you mean Boran was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a...
a lord?
A slave from Dana. Just like us.
Yeah, Volran is Danan. We learned that from
Isn't
reading the
that right?
computers.
Volrun.
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave,
Look at that
why would
shield.
you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Dana are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters.
Hell yeah, brother.
I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alma!
Jesus, my controller is just sitting. What is happening even right now?
Here.
We need to go! Alphen!
she gonna jump or something? Okay, imagine if she had the butterfly wings. Oh my, I made the biggest mistake of my life. Look how sweet that would be with the butterfly wings. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay.
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
So he just tried to like kill us, really? And now
Let's go.
we jumped across the bridge, so he can't do that anymore? Is that really what happened?
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor
And he
man.
said to the Red
One
Woman, "Go
word
to your
is all.
master."
I am.
So there are Renans. The Red Woman's just a
Are you two okay?
point of
Yeah.
communication between
We'll be fine.
Volron and the Renans.
Is Volron... Have we finally seen the last of him?
No
We
way.
can but hope.
How would that be the
Those red
case?
women. What the heck was their deal?
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renaissalma. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now, those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous
Yeah.
form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's
We're
not
headed to
human.
Rena.
That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renaissalma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
We're going to Rena.
But seriously, I was not expecting Voron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit
Boss
about
fight.
Renans or Danans.
I can't fast travel. Cool.
Yeah, not in a good way like with us.
Let's.
I didn't see that coming about Volron. As for those red women, to think they were monsters all along.
Tell me about it. One minute they look perfectly human.
Think
Next
of how
thing you know,
stupid
they're
we
not
feel. We were
actually
going
human at
around
all.
asking people
They
if they'd
definitely
seen
weren't
a
Renan or
woman
Danan.
wearing red.
I'm not even sure language would get through to them.
You idiot.
So what were they then? Human Zoogle hybrids?
Is the most terrifying thing anyone said all day?
How about you, Shion? Doily? You ever seen anything like that before?
No, never. However, if they're the same as the Red Woman we've seen with Volron, I think it's safe for us to assume they understand our language at the very least.
I had just so much I wanted to ask them. About Rena. And Shion's thorns.
Unfortunately, they blew themselves up before we got the chance. Why would they do such a thing, though? To take us with them? Or in order to keep something hidden?
Both sound plausible to my ears.
Yeah,
They took off with the Renaissalma too, remember?
it's true.
Yeah, they did.
Important to
The next
remember,
time
for
we
sure.
meet them, we're going to make sure they tell us everything they know.
Yeah. We're gonna make them tell us everything. Whether they like it or not. Yeah. Are we gonna have to go all the way back through the city? Is that really what's happening right now? Our Star Savers is really far away. No fast travel? Okay. I'm all roughed up. Boss fight. I really just used more life vials too. I didn't even use an orange shell, which is nice. through all this. Remember all the good times we had sitting through cutscenes and reading the script? This way. Jog, 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 jog. Butterfly, butterfly. Oh my gosh. Alright. Let's keep going. Oh. Excellent. I have to fight my way back through this. Really? Is that really what? Really? Really? Like this. Okay, I'm gonna use an orange gel then. Freaking ridiculous. Are you serious? Oh, I see. Shouldn't have changed that. Okay.
Get lost!
You're mine! Release! Raining slap! I won't show you any mercy! Ignore! Blow away! Hold nothing back! Raining slap!
Legion smelling to me.
I'm just spamming them. Come on. What is it? Okay. So 3 things out. This guy's gonna get comboed. Okay.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Boom.
Let me help.
Now! No escape! Blow away!
All upon thee!
Sword lane out!
Correctly evaded raining slash.
Pierce evil!
Raining slap!
Not that time though.
Freeze Lancer! Am I on a roll or what?
Is there gonna be
Look who's in
another
a bright,
pack?
shiny
No,
mood.
fuck that. I'm gonna go this way. Thought about going back for those gems back there, here, but I'm just gonna skip it. Let's go, Wolf Force.
Out of our way!
Here I come! No further!
Who are you attacking? Over here?
Blow away!
These ones can run rings around us!
Prepare to be seized! Escape! Wind! Stronger! Here I come! Strike!
between heaven and earth!
Nice.
In an instant! Impact block!
Purge malevolence! Arcane butterfly!
Well, I can spend my SP too. Maybe I got some from the fight.
It's too fast!
A couple of them did good.
Slip it up! Megasonic thrust! Raining slap! Blow away! Incineration wave! Take this! Megasonic thrust! Raining slap! I'm on! Blow away! Watch raining slap! You're mine!
You're mine. Alright, what level am
feel my
I?
power
Okay, people
growing.
are turning level 45. Cool. Do 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 do.
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone?
Doe?
Did she call him Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing, so she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegis is in grave peril.
So I can see.
Yeah, it's been in grave peril.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is...
You.
Ah. Very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now,
Oh my
fellow
gosh.
veterans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldermen and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the lords of
This is
Sovereign.
weird.
The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a
We're gonna
person of
stand up
policy
against the
or right,
Renans, who are
but as
aliens.
another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength. For if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Okay.
Your speech seems to have done the trick.
But what happens now?
Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright, or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Tarnigan's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do.
This whole like
I'll hold down the
Dohalim
fort
thing is
here in
weird.
Lenegis till you
but-
get back.
Thank you.
So Dohalim is just like gonna be the hero of Lenegis and the
I guess you're
people.
not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future.
I don't know,
huh?
man.
Indeed. Forgive me.
He's just like
The
people
of
are
Elder
struggling
Menancia
here.
Can look after themselves just fine.
Yeah, let's help them.
It's the ones here on Lenegis who need someone to guide them.
And that's what we're doing, I guess.
Besides,
Dot, dot, dot.
with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough.
Dohalim is
Whatever would I
gonna
do
take
without you,
over.
Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
That's right. We're going to Rena. So pretty much what happened there is we acknowledge that the people of Lenegis are fucked, and Dohalim's like, yeah, I'm gonna lead you guys later. Yeah, everyone has a decent
Looks
amount.
like the people of Lenegis can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
In one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps I have been a slave this whole time too.
You, a Renan Lord? How do you figure that exactly?
I was complicit in the Renan system, bound by its values, resigned to being swept along, without the resolve to take a stand. And when I realized the severity of my mistake, all I longed for was punishment. A lord. And yet my first instinct was to place my fate in the hands of others.
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape their way through life, but I didn't know what else I could do about it either. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master. That's what separates a slave from a free person. At least, that's what Law's dad Zephyr used to say. Zephyr taught me how to fight. but in doing so, he also taught me how to live.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. If it's on a road of our own choosing, free of regret. Why, that's the road of freedom. Or, to put it another way, so long as his heart is compromised, even the loftiest of kings is no freer than a slave. I think I finally understand now. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed. I only wish I could have met him.
There's just so much I wish I could ask him, especially now. I wonder, have I been correctly carrying on the torch that he passed to me?
We're just like reflecting on all the shit that happened.
How long have you known?
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me. You seem to have been aware of it for quite some time now.
Why ask me now? What does it matter? But yes, I have. I've pretty much known that something was gnawing at you ever since we left Menancia.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs. We have no need for it now. You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother could see you, he'd be proud.
Not as proud as he would be of his sister, I'm sure.
Well then, just as well it's not a competition, huh?
Oh my gosh, another one.
Kisara? Anyone at home in there?
Sorry. Did I look distracted?
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
You were thinking about Dohalim, weren't you?
That obvious, huh? I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last. It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. A prisoner trapped in a cage of his own self-doubt. But now, he's finally beginning to spread his wings. I'm happy for him.
So, then why do you look so sad?
Oh, I don't know if I'd say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It's good and strange, knowing that he won't be needing me anymore. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my
Dohalim
mind.
and Kisara's
I should be
relationship
jumping up and
is
down for joy, right?
reaching new heights.
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work.
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking and nervous flight from the nest.
A pretty big child.
Sure.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim's face if he heard you say that. All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner of my own making like he was. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can too. I won't be left behind.
Alrighty, we're all done. We're all chatted up. That's good.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
The ranch? That's what you're thinking about right now? The ranch? Are you kidding me? You're freaking crazy. Alright, life bottles. Just get 11 of them. Done. Don't buy better armor. It's not worth it. Okay, you know, a couple lemons as well. Oh boy. Wait, oh no, okay, never mind. What? Carrot? It's a carrot. Has a lot of penetration. Okay. Ooh, we can make this now. Let's do it. Sure. Got the best. Now she's got the best. Now she's got the best. Okay. We're upgraded. Fill it up with pigs.
Did we really just spend that much?
sure.
This is perfect.
I don't freaking know, man. I don't think it really matters as long as you're doing something. So literally it's just making us go backwards all the way. Everyone has new text as well. I haven't really been talking to the citizens, and honestly, it's probably fine. This is a cool setting too. I really like this. It's better than the Synced. I think that's what that is. Maybe not the Synced. Yeah, the whole Fruit of Helgen drama. This is literally. Why is it making us do this? This is so stupid. Like, at least put battles in here or something. I don't know. Say it got taken over and... I mean, I don't hate it because it all looks good, but... a bit obnoxious, eh? One more area. Another wall. I got nothing to say to you people. I'll talk to you. What do you got? So yeah, this stupid core reactor subplot out of nowhere? Like, what was that? She was crazy. It had no relevance. Get me out of here. Tirana.
I thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
We found a lot of answers, my dude.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix too.
Honestly, I don't think what they're saying is necessarily true, and I'm thankful for that because I would be so fucking annoyed.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with.
The whole
Like
Lenegis
figuring out who's
chapter.
really running the show on Rena.
Thumbs down.
Yeah.
Kind of
Which is
trash.
why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this, the Red Woman, and the Renaissance. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What?
Stop. That was very spooky, I agree. Spook City. You can't stop my ship just by putting your hand out. Who do you think you are? The fuck?
Damn! The hell just happened?
We got zapped
Our
somewhere?
course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
No.
What's that?
The
Fix
ship's
this,
controls aren't
Dohalim.
accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
Quite bad. We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Quite bad indeed.
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
What the fuck is gonna happen? Lenegus. Threw the thing on Dana. A flower. Oh, wait. Was that Rena? Lenegus was the little thing in the middle?
Flower blooming out of Rena?
Yeah, okay.
That flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
It does. You are
And it
correct.
appears Lenegus is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegus are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
So we're just like on the spaceship right now? Is that...
The Flower of Oblivion.
You know about this, Shion?
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegus. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move
Yeah, I'm
while we're out
shocked
here
you
in
even knew how to
space
drive it.
could very well cost us our lives.
So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down! You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up.
Yeah, what are we
There
gonna
has
do?
to be a way to get out of this.
My guess?
Alphen.
Jesus, controller.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
Lenegus? I'm just trying to keep all my facts straight at this point.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegus in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shion!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
So, what the fuck? Astral energy blasted through Lenegis into Rena, turning it into a flower of oblivion.
Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while
We got taken back to Lenegis.
What the? Oh, right. The thorns. My bad.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people. Does it ever get lonely sometimes?
You've been meaning to
guess
ask?
I never really
I've
thought about
had
it
this
in those
dying
terms.
question.
It was either accept it for what it was or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness?
Jesus.
I don't know how you managed.
It's fine.
It's a brutal description.
I know I'm not alone
my friend.
anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be.
And you just
But
take
either way,
Alphen's promise
a
as
day will
fact?
come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise.
Oh my gosh. This definitely could have been paced better. Oh my goodness.
Are you out of your mind? This isn't the time for games, Rinwell.
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation. You ought to try it sometime.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous, you're making me start to feel nervous too.
Oh, sorry.
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment. Try to strike a balance.
Okay.
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Take 5 steps with another cutscene.
Our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens.
Mm-hmm.
But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown
Who is they,
contest,
dude?
but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
The Renans?
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Another
formidable
R1
enough to bring
cutscene.
our starship along with
Oh
us.
my
They must be
gosh.
here somewhere. Let's find them.
This is ridiculous. It's ironic that it's called
That
Keeping
beam of
Calm
light drawing
while I
Dana
lose
and
my
Rena.
fucking mind
It was the
over how
Renan
many
side that it first
cutscenes
came
we've
from,
watched
right?
in the past 3 hours of gameplay.
That's what it looked like.
Oh my gosh.
And then the Danon side responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegis?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing. So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
Alrighty. I'm gonna go up this elevator and then I gotta pause and pee and get some water. Oh boy, okay. Start at the bottom. Okay, so we don't have access to the lower or upper. Only this. We're back. I think what's happening right now is we just got blasted back to Lenegis somehow. And we're just looking around. That's literally what is happening right now. Okay, I'll be right back. I need to pee and get some water. But we back. Playing Tales. Pushing through this insanely drawn out section of the game.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Yeah.
Huh? What's that?
It's where they grow sovereigns.
It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move.
Not a trap?
Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
Is that a Renan?
What are you?
Hevrecht 35.
Hevrecht 35, okay.
Hevrecht 35.
Cool. Very
Is
cool.
that your name?
Correct.
It all checks out to me.
Wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
I don't even know, man.
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
Oh boy.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
I'm telling you, they're just like an intermediary.
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, goody. More riddles.
Do you think we
All
can
right.
trust this thing?
Thanks a lot.
Like it or not,
for just
it
being
may be our
real
best
for a
chance at a
second.
ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasal, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's
Oh my
influence,
goodness, man.
I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it without question throughout
The voice of
ages.
Rena?
Does that
Whatever,
mean it was
Helan. Why do
controlling
they have
their
to give it such a
minds?
weird name?
Wait a second. Could this Great Spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Now the planets themselves are becoming characters.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Or has it?
But
let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit.
Okay.
Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state.
Okay.
As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegis was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renis Alma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount.
This is really good information, but what the fuck? Why is this thing here?
That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrect 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
What
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
What?
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena.
You can see this.
If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
mean, we learned a lot.
You can't
Oh
seriously
my
rely
god.
on anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim?
Kisara, you're
Were
so
you able
real.
to follow it at all?
Oh my god, I feel that.
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy.
Yeah.
That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult
This
to
whole
believe.
game
The spirit of Rena wants to
symbolizes
see Dana
war.
completely
And
destroyed.
astral energy is oil.
Why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
Helganquil is the...
Now that you mention
There
it,
is no such thing.
In all that talk, Hevrik 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
That's what a Renan is. Isn't
Maybe
that
it had a
clear?
reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on.
Isn't... Okay,
Maybe
am
the
I
others
stupid
will
or is
shed more
that
light
not
on the
what it
matter.
is?
Let's find out.
We're going to talk to other people right now. That's our objective. To go have more conversations. I'm okay. I'm fine. It's all good. Literally, if I didn't like this game, I would probably stop playing because this is so fucking stupid. This is ridiculous. There's nothing even in here.
Who are they?
Good question.
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
If these are the
Are you
Renans,
a
I'm
Renan?
pissed.
Hmm? Oh.
Ah, come
yeah, I
on.
guess
They're
so.
just humans too? So lame.
The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrecht 35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena, do you?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
My current objective is to have 3 conversations.
Have you guys lived up here in Deg Faisal with Hevrik 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevrecht 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, The type of cloaking they use is primarily
I
achieved
haven't
through
been able to
mechanical means.
scientifically confirm.
In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegis is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
Okay.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevric 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegis? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright.
After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead.
Okay.
Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further.
That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions.
Holy cow. I'm not even gonna bother to summarize that.
Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
You mean the Overseer's species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Okay, let's hear this out.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
This is important.
In a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquil.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't. But there are Helganquil.
Haha, that's what I
the
thought.
name literally
That's what I
means
thought.
in their language.
Ah.
People of Rena.
It's true.
What
It was
need could
all
they possibly
true.
have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there.
This is like
That's
one of
why
the
we,
biggest
as their
conversations we've had.
descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Danans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use Astro Arts on Dana now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and...
Enough! You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But
This
if you
is
ask
so weird.
me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
Oh my gosh, dude, that was literally one of the most eye-opening.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed?
Dude, I believe it, Dohalim. I believe it.
Dohalim. Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks
This is
us in the
crazy
face.
how things are unfolding right now.
And let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
It's not gonna be. There's one more.
Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner. However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed
Lots of information
and became
here.
frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contest began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana.
Okay.
As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevrecht 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down.
Alrighty.
Is there anything we know that's still true
Yeah,
at this
those were
point?
3 crazy
Seriously,
conversations.
I'm still trying to process
Literally,
the fact that we
I was
Renans
guessing
were
at
created
some
by
of
the
this shit.
Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
The Sovereign and Maiden stuff basically comes down to it all just being
I
like
know all of this is a lot to
a means
believe
to
and
an
take
end.
in, but I think it's fair to say that we found the answers we've been looking for.
Oh my god.
Does everyone agree?
Incredible.
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on
Here's
to
a nice little
invade
summary.
and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea.
If I'm
Kisara.
talking to every one
If
of
the
my
Ren
party members
Great
now, I'm gonna
Spirit
lose
really
my
is
mind.
behind all this, and we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear
Oh
what's
my
on
gosh,
everyone's
we're
minds,
literally
too.
about to go into a talk to everybody section.
Sounds good.
This
Let's go
is
find it.
insane.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.
I don't even know what to say.
Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, no, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrek 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrek
I didn't even
35
think
was
about
telling
that.
the truth,
But
and this
yes.
was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
Alright, let's get through some of these conversations. Yippee. Can't wait for this.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans, and the Great Spirit, and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on
That's a
trying
good
to
way of putting
destroy
it,
our
sure.
planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Danan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Danans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
We have to
Well,
stop the
first
world
we can
from...
try to figure
yeah,
out what
okay.
to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah, if the world gets
Yeah.
destroyed,
It'd be
we
nice if one
can't
day
solve
people
racism.
could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway.
Yeah.
Not just that,
What Alfred
but to
said.
also embrace each other's pain in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, First, we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Stop the apocalypse before you solve racism. Like, I get that it's important, but...
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Dahnan mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking,
yeah.
if Renans end up living
they were a
together with
threat to the
Dahnans again,
Renans.
then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dahna anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Dahnans probably won't be so quick to let their
We're all
guards
jumping
down.
the gun on
And there
this.
might
Like,
be
we have
Renans who
bigger
still act
problems.
superior because of their
Currently,
arts.
the life force of
wouldn't
Dana
surprise
is
me.
getting sucked out
300
as we
years of
speak.
bad blood and prejudice
And we've
isn't
decided to
going
have
be an easy thing to
a
overcome.
conversation with everybody. I swear to God, in the
Yeah.
last like 4 hours
I
of
know
gameplay,
firsthand
I've
just how much
maybe
hatred
had
can
like
take hold in your heart once you
6
let it
battles in one boss fight.
But
It's
even
freaking
so,
insane.
I was still able to change. And if I
And
can
everything's been
change,
so
so
linear.
can anyone
And there's
else.
been like one shop.
So I was
It's just
thinking
like,
maybe, I don't know, I could use
I
my
don't know.
position as both a Dahnan and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Rena's will is
Maybe.
bigger than Dana's
But
will.
regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
Alrighty. Rinwell's was similar to Kisara's, solving the problems of our planet without thinking about how to save it from getting destroyed.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live. And I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange.
Good,
coming
then
from
just
me.
stand off to the side and
Maybe the key
keep
is
fighting.
not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons. But I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do, or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about, all I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
This one's just
It's something
inspirational,
your dad told me
non.
once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
Alrighty. One more. Lord Dohalim. What do you got, my friend?
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one.
It's definitely not a lie.
I imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen.
For the record.
And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dana, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden.
So we're all just talking about what we want to happen after this is over, which is a little strange at this point in time, because there's other shit to do.
Ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator, so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Danans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Danan society without any bloodshed. That is why...
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask.
Yeah, dog.
Of
We're on the
course I
same
will.
page, brother.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it.
And we can
before
do
was
it.
too
It can
late.
be us.
How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call.
It is
a
us.
mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Danan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people. Even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
Yes.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yep.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud
So we're all just
of.
kind of being like, let's go get it. Let's make the world a better place for Naori, for the people of Dana, and for the
Yes, I
Danans
know.
and the Renans, because there are no people of
Don't
Rena.
worry, I haven't forgotten.
We're gonna stick it to this
I
great
want to live,
spirit and the
that's the honest truth.
Helanquil. Fuck their plot. Let's go. What's next? Get me somewhere where I can run around. Like, this is
Is
crazy.
everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
Are you kidding me?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dana's still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Shion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yes.
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Shion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena.
Yes.
And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Shion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
What?
While the main body resides in Rena.
Maybe.
Shion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
Hell yeah, Shion. Are we trying to go to Rena
The
one
question
more
is,
time?
how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Yeah, Neori's is the real MVP.
Hevric 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort.
And I forgot
Let's
about
go
that.
see what that is.
Hevric was like, go fuck that thing up. Our new objective is to go talk to Hevric 30.
Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric 35 our answer.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis Alma stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Cool.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
Just one? Making up for when you spammed 3 at me? I don't think we've been to the upper level. Oh, shit. Damn. Wait, what are we doing way over here? I thought we were on Lenegis. I'm all confused. Oh well. Okay, I think I understand what's going on there. That's a pretty cool scene though. This is a cool room. I'm trying to get to like some normality in this game right now, but oh fuck, why'd I do that? Okay. I want to go lower level. All right. Happy bottle. Where the fuck is Hevric? Where does he live? Central? Yeah. Let's go have another conversation. Can't wait.
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the great spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renis Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renis Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit. and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the Great Astral Spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan
This is
shall
it.
lead to the fewest
Let's just
losses
go with it,
preserving
Alphen.
your world. Abandoning it is irrational. It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
Yeah, we literally said the same thing.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the Great Astral Spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the Great Astral Spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing.
Oh my gosh,
We want to
guys.
stop Dana from getting destroyed. We
Just
want
do it. Holy
but
crap.
He's having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
Alphen, you are being such a
What you
bitch.
say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
Yes, let's just go. Come on.
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Alrighty.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us.
Dude, it doesn't fucking
We're not
matter.
doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now, is the
my
Renaissance
gosh.
really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. And with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrek 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
Oh my goodness, man.
You're probably right.
This is all just like crazy unnecessary complications. Like, I think essentially Hevrek 35 is like, yeah, you need the Sovereign and the Maiden and the Renaissance to fuck up the Great Spirit, and you also gotta like sacrifice, like you gotta do it this specific way. And they're like, but wait, we want to do it our way. And he's like, I'm sorry guys, you gotta do it this way. And we're like, we'll see about that. Let's go. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Get some rest. Sure, just do it now. Please, please get me out of this hell. Holy fucking shit. Oh my gosh.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as
like, how is one person supposed to like remember all of these conversations and all of this detail? It just dumps it on you. Like, all at once. No gameplay in between.
There were those of you who were good.
It's so ridiculous.
And that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They
This
can
has
be
been
good
at
or
least
bad,
an hour.
Just like Danon's.
Maybe a little bit more of
That is,
just
in essence,
nothing.
the heart of your approach, isn't it?
Just
That we're all
talking.
people.
Yeah,
It's pretty
it is.
insane.
When you can pull someone aside and talk
Actually
to them
insane.
one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright. To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more. That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Dohalim
Well,
and
if you ever
Kisara
need a
having a
helping
moment.
hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize?
I'm gonna lose my
For what?
fucking mind. Watching these cutscenes.
I was being real stupid before. About whether Dana's will had been
I was
controlling
really,
us and
really
all that.
enjoying this game, and honestly, this is kind of souring the experience.
I get why you were angry
This is
now.
brutal. I just want
Anybody
to
would be if
play.
Something they trusted was being questioned.
I want to run
So,
around
I'm
collecting
sorry,
shit,
Rinwell.
fighting monsters,
Really.
leveling up.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
Oh my gosh. Catching fish,
No, La.
something.
Honestly, I think you might have been
I'm just
onto
sitting here
something.
watching them
Of
talk.
course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said,
Maybe.
Unless Dana's energy comes
Maybe,
together,
dude.
it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Heverick 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
Oh my gosh, this is
To
insane.
be honest,
This is
the only
absolutely
reason I was
insane.
suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Shion?
Same as you. Still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more.
I'm sorry I'm
Wouldn't
being
have my
quiet through
memories
all
back.
this.
I'd still be a faceless
But I'm
slave.
just trying to get through it
Like
and
his
pay
own
attention.
dad.
It's getting a little late here. I'm a little tired. This episode and the one before it have literally just been story content. It's
Hey, Alphen.
I don't even know
want
what
you
to
to
think.
promise me something.
It's brutal.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you
Like
to do.
everyone's just talking and then like, oh my, it's this is actually
Like
insane.
Heverick 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main
Next time I
body in
get control, I'm gonna say
and the
it, so.
thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
Yeah, we'll try it out. Shion, sure.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything that
Listen,
we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire
Sorry,
world.
just banged my mic.
Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it. But we need to be prepared for anything.
Oh my
We
gosh.
can't second guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
I don't know what to say. I just, this is crazy.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end.
I hope you do, man.
I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
The promise is what? We're gonna
I remember
finish
how
this
I
fight.
felt the first time you touched me.
Oh my god.
My thorns made
Relax.
contact, a mistake no one would ever make twice.
Ah.
Fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before.
Oh my goodness, I am gonna lose my fucking mind watching these goddamn cutscenes. The game was really cool and they could have just taken some more time to unfold the story. But instead, they pause all gameplay and give you 3 hours of cutscenes. It's fucking bullshit. I'll just say it, it's bullshit. This is crazy.
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new
Relatively
future for both
straightforward,
Dana and Rena.
Dohalim. That's what I was
Right.
gonna describe it
We've
as.
come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Yes, simply use the warp drive.
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
It's just trying to help us out.
Did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
You fucking kidding me? Okay. There's no R1 cutscenes. Part of me wants to keep moving. No, I don't. Honestly, I'm sorry for all the negativity, but this is crazy. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm just trying to get through this shit. It's Sunday night. I'm gonna be playing again tomorrow. New World comes out on Tuesday, and I'm trying to get through this. Thanks for. Nobody watched this. Let's be totally honest. This was crazy. I hope there's more gameplay tomorrow. I don't know. Bye.